Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Battle of the Bangers Season 5. I am your host. My name is Tyler, and as always, I am joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we have Kyle.
Hello.
So, if you don't know what's going on, if you're new here for some reason, haven't watched the first two episodes of this season, what we're doing in Season 5 is having a battle royale between all of the Robot with Human Hair songs that DGD has ever written, minus one that we couldn't fit in. So, let's load up the bracket here and see what we got. As I explained in the previous episode, these are seeded based on listener count on Spotify. Is that the right way of wording that? I guess.
Amount of listens.
Amount of listens. Sounds stupid either way. Anyway, today's matchup is the Robot with Human Hair Part 4 versus the Robot with Human Hair Part 3, the only Kurt Travis era robot song, and it's here, and it's up against a very good Tillian era robot song, in my opinion. Not to foreshadow where this might be going, but everyone knows that we hate Death Star, so it's, I'm not going to try to hide the fact that I think that this is a very one-sided fight, but maybe I'm the only one who thinks that. Brandon, we'll start with you, I guess, as per usual. Just throw out one of them. What do you want to talk about?
I'll start off with the underdog, part 3. I think this song is very solid instrumentally. There's a lot going on. The guitars really take center stage in this track. You could tell Will Swan was in his absolute prime, just shredding, both guitars going absolutely wild, giving you a lot of variety and spice throughout the track. And I think that Kurt Travis does what he can to really complement and supplement the track as well. I'm not the biggest Kurt Travis fan. Let me get that out there. I love his other stuff, but his DGD stuff, I think Tillian and Johnny Craig, Johnny Craig's a little more equal. I think Tillian's way above. But still, this is probably one of the better songs that's on the self-titled Death Star record. And I think it is an underdog, but it is very respectable in its own right. So, yeah, part 3, baby.
Well said. Kyle, as a guy who's repping Kurt Travis wear, much far superior Kurt Travis music.
That's fair.
Fair. I feel like you got to be the one to just suck this song's little baby penis. So go ahead, lay it on us.
I feel so obligated to not talk about this track now that you said it in that way. But no, I do. It's no mystery that I really like Kurt Travis. I like him a lot. Like all of his projects since as well. But specifically, I'm not the biggest Death Star fan overall. I like his stuff on Happiness a bit more. But as far as tracks on this album go, this is definitely one of the standouts to me, to this day. Robot 3 is super fucking solid. I agree with you, Brennan. I think the guitars kind of shine on this track a lot. And the thing that I really like about the way this track is set up is there's guitar that kind of gets you going for a way, and then Kurt and John kind of a back and forth moment, and then the guitars kind of take over again and do this really cool back and forth thing between the guitars into another really more another interesting John Mess and Kurt Travis moment again with that and it's oh, where's it going? And you go right back into another really awesome little back and forth. I think it's just a really fun structure for a song. It's not something they do a ton, where it's just guitars shine, vocals shine, guitars, vocals, guitar, vocals kind of thing. It's pretty unique in the scheme of DGD tracks in my mind, as far as writing goes. And the guitars do just slap all the way. They just keep kind of twisting you, turning you around. I've never really liked John Mess on this album either. It's no mystery. I've said it every time we reviewed these albums, but it's not great. But I think Kurt on this track really does shine. Some of those notes are really good. The falsetto high note at the end is really solid too. He doesn't do a ton of falsetto stuff all the time, so the fact that he lets that be the last big boom of that track is kind of a big thing, I feel vocally along the track of this album. So I don't know. I really like this track. Unfortunately, it's up against quite the banger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, credit where it's due, I definitely was like, because I don't listen to any of the songs off Death Star that aren't like quintessential DGD listening that are like objectively good. This not being one of them. But going back and re-listening to this, I was pleasantly surprised at how much better it was than I remember it being. I don't actually think this is a bad song. I think it's objectively a pretty good song. It's just a shame that it's up against Robot Part 4, and I'll just leave it at that and send it back over to Brennan to explain why.
Yeah, so Robot Part 4, where do I begin? So Part 3 I said was amazing instrumentally. Part 4 is that plus some. Like, the verses, like where John Mess comes in and it's just kind of like 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 it has like just the crazy fucking like shredding like in between those parts. Absolutely the next level. Tillian in both the pre-chorus and the chorus, amazing. You know, he really just fucking drops the hammer on that shit. And then in the second verse, like how like the verse hits and then Tillian has like his own little like bridge into like the second chorus, like pre-chorus and second chorus. I think it's fucking top notch. It like just the dynamics, like the roller coaster you go on to like get where the track ultimately leaves you, I think is superb. And, you know, I think this is one of the better tracks on Acceptance Speech, and it might be the second Acceptance Speech track that moves on. So, yeah, we will see in the voting, but this track's an absolute slapper.
Oh yeah, Kyle, are you gonna commit sacrilege against your boy Kurt Travis?
I fucking love this track. I guess I'll just start by talking about this track alone. This track is so good. I think it has one of the best choruses on Acceptance Speech in my mind. It's just so fucking catchy, especially like right next to like the verses that John sets up, where it like, especially the first one where it does like the can't stop thinking, can't stop, and like it has like the little bit like an edited aspect to it, not like super overdone, just enough that like it kind of keeps it fresh, especially on that album as well. But overall, I think the structure of the song is so good. Tillian fucking rips in this entire track. Like I said, the chorus is so fucking tasty. It's probably my favorite thing about the album itself, or not the album, the song. We're not talking about albums anymore. Songs that I love it so much is that chorus, it locks into your brain and just like sucks all the juices, and then also gives me juices that is like, oh, I love this.
There's a fluid exchange happening in your brain.
It's delicious.
It takes out all the bad and gives you the good.
Absolutely. And then I think the biggest thing is that the bridge with like the back and forth with Tilly and John and like the layering of the two of them is just so fucking satisfying. You like build up right back into the wear my soul on my sleeve. And it just gets right back to being groovy and just sends it off into the end of the track. It's just so good. It's so good.
Hell yeah, dude. I agree. All of it. And we already know that I'm voting for it. So, is there anyone who's not voting for it?
I'm going to vote Robot 3. I know that, like, Tyler, you just did this in the last episode with Downtown Battle Mountain. I think Death Star, like, deserves some solid respect. I think the album is, I don't know if I could say it's underrated, like you were talking about Downtown Battle Mountain 2, because a lot of people really like this album. But I think this track is super solid. In comparison, it's really tough, you know, back and forth, because one of them is a lot more, I think, overall simple than the other, in that Robot 3 is a little bit more simple overall. But I think what it's trying to do, it does extremely well. And I fucking love that track. So I'm a little Kurt Travis simp. So I'm gonna go with it. Fuck it.
I respect it. I respect giving credit where it's due. Brennan, just put the knife in and twist.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, re-listening to it, I think that Part 3 deserves a little more respect. I do. I think it is another underrated track and so far what has been a list of underrated tracks.
Definitely.
But I can't commit blasphemy here and say that part 4 is worse. I do respect, and I am glad that part 3 is getting a vote. You know, it's not going to be totally swept here. But to me, part 4, it has the better chorus. It has, you know, upper instrumentals. Like, it has better, you know, verses and a bridge, in my opinion. Like, it just has a lot more, you know, I said this in a previous episode, it has a lot more bang for my buck. So I have to go with part 4 here.
Oh, yeah.
No. I can't believe this happened. No.
Oh, gosh. How will we ever recover emotionally?
Oh, no. They're eating him.
They're going to eat me next.
Too.
Oh,
no.
God.
Oh, God. That's
Whatever the quote was. I don't know. Anyway, part 4 is moving on. And we now have 2 tracks from Acceptance Speech in the semifinals on opposite ends of the bracket. There's a reality that might exist that, like, the 2 top robot songs are from the same album going up against each other. I don't know if that's going to happen.
What?
But it might. And obviously, we're going to have to see who Robot Part 4 is going to go up against in its semifinal round when we determine the last preliminary round next week, being Young Robot versus Robot Part 1. There's always got to be a bloodbath in round. There's always got to be at least one bloodbath. And that's going to be next week. And if you want to get notified when that episode comes out, make sure you're subscribed to the Talk About Boys. You ring the bell. You'll get notified the second that piece of genocide graces the internet. Also, make sure that you like this video if you liked it, because that does help out just a ton. And please comment below. Who do you think should have won this matchup? Were we wrong? Were we awful, awful people for once again putting a non-Tillian song in the grave, even though we're right? Let us know in the comments below. Let us have it. We're here for it. But that's all we got for today. So until next time, we have been the Talk Slot Boys. We'll talk a whole lot more next time. Bye.